Today, we're discussing the latest study showing the impressive benefits of the Pacran whole cranberry supplement ingredient on urinary tract health. You may know that cranberries have been linked to urinary tract health for a long time. However, what's relatively new is that a few years ago, the FDA issued what they call podcast. I'm your host, Carl Pradelli, and I'm also the CEO and co-founder of the company, having started NatureCity over 20 years ago with my wife, Beth. And since then, it's been our honor to have served over 500,000 Americans by offering them the best supplements we can make. Today, we're discussing the latest study showing the impressive benefits of the Pacran whole cranberry supplement ingredient on urinary tract health. You may know that cranberries have been linked to urinary tract health for a long time. However, what's relatively new is that a few years ago, the FDA issued what they call a qualified health claim for cranberry supplements and urinary tract infections, which reads as follows. Limited scientific evidence shows that by consuming 500 milligrams each day of cranberry dietary supplement, healthy women who have had a urinary tract infection, UTI, may reduce their risk of recurrent UTI. So the FDA is saying it's not definite, but some evidence indicates 500 milligrams of cranberry powder may help reduce the recurrence of UTIs. One of the key studies the FDA relied on to reach this conclusion was conducted with the same Pacran whole cranberry powder we're discussing today. In fact, the FDA mentioned that the Pacran study was a high-quality study, and it provided the most scientifically appropriate basis for the 500 milligram minimum daily amount of cranberry powder the FDA mentioned in the qualified cranberry UTI claim. This study was published in the journal Phytotherapy Research and found that women with a history of UTIs who took 500 milligrams of Pacran daily for 6 months reduced their risk of a UTI recurring by about 58% compared to the placebo group. That's pretty meaningful and a pretty impressive result in effect. In addition, the researchers found that supplementing with Pacran may help reduce common symptoms experienced with UTIs, including urinary frequency and urgency and uncomfortable or difficult urination. Now, as I mentioned, the FDA called the existing evidence limited for cranberries and UTIs. So the makers of Pacran tried to make it a little less limited by conducting another high-quality study to demonstrate the effects of this whole cranberry powder. This study was recently published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and we'll go through the results and findings in a moment. First, I want to briefly cover a couple of questions that we commonly get on this topic. You may be wondering about cranberry juice. Well, the FDA did indicate that the UTI qualified claim applies to cranberry juice, drinking cranberry juice too. However, the concern and challenge with drinking cranberry juice daily is it typically contains a lot of added sugar. The cranberry fruit itself is naturally low in sugar, but the juice is very bitter. To compensate, a lot of added sugar is used to make it taste better. If you check the label, it's not uncommon to see 30 grams of sugar per serving of cranberry juice, which is bad for our health and adds a lot of excess calories to our diet. Over a month's time, it would mean you consume about 3,600 extra calories from drinking cranberry juice. Some other products use artificial sweeteners, which we're not big fans of either. With Pacran, you don't have this concern, and you can still drink it. Later, I'll show you how we use it in a drink mix at NatureCity. The other question we frequently get is, I heard the magic number to get urinary tract protection is 36 milligrams of PACs. Why doesn't Pacran have 36 milligrams of PACs? In case you don't know what a PAC is, it stands for proanthocyanidins, which are important polyphenol compounds in cranberries that play a key role in the berry's anti-adhesion properties. One of the main ways cranberry works to help protect urinary tract health is by working to reduce the amount of potentially harmful compounds that adhere or stick to the urinary tract health. Instead, unwanted substances get excreted before they can cause you problems. Some in the industry believe you need to consume 36 milligrams of PACs to get this effect, and perhaps that's one way to do it, but the research with Pacran shows its whole cranberry approach is beneficial too for supporting urinary tract health. It's not just the US FDA that has acknowledged the quality of Pacran research. In total, Pacran has achieved health claims from 4 countries. In addition to the US, there is Canada, South Korea, and Colombia. Pacran is made from the entire cranberry, the juice, the flesh, the skin, and the seeds, just as nature made it. That's very different from isolating cranberry PACs in an extract to reach 36 milligrams of PACs. We prefer the whole cranberry approach of Pacran because it involves minimal processing and refining. As a general matter, at NatureCity, we believe the less processing, the better, and sometimes we forget that Mother Nature is pretty smart at designing plants. The fruits and vegetables we eat also contain supporting co-nutrients and nutritional cofactors that help compounds like PACs, in the case of cranberry, work in the body. You lose some of that when you start isolating specific compounds. In addition, there's a sustainability aspect to this. The cranberries used to make Pacran come from cranberry bogs in Massachusetts that have been cultivated and harvested by many generations of the same families, and some of these cranberry bogs are over 100 years old. Cranberries typically only contain about 1% PACs, so to make an extract with 36 milligrams of PACs, it takes a lot more cranberries or cranberry biomass than the amount needed to make Pacran. We feel that a quality whole cranberry powder like Pacran is more environmentally friendly and efficient, and as the research indicates, it does provide the desired urinary tract health benefits. That's a win all the way around. So let's now turn to the new study that was just published with Pacran, which is the third human study for urinary tract health involving Pacran. This new study, which was again published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, included 150 women between the ages of 18 and 65 with a recent history of UTI occurrence. They were randomized into two groups, those taking either 500 milligrams of Pacran or placebo daily for 6 months. One wrinkle for this study is the incidence of UTI was confirmed by cultures of urine. In the previous study, the diagnosis was made by relying on symptoms. Using urine cultures is arguably more precise. After 6 months, the researchers found that Pacran reduced the recurrence of UTIs by 52% relative to the placebo group. This result is in line with previous research with Pacran. You may recall earlier we said in the previous study that the rate of recurrence was reduced by 58%. In addition, like in the previous study, Pacran also helped with symptoms like urinary frequency and urgency. So if you or a loved one struggles with urinary tract health, this new study provides additional evidence that taking Pacran daily may help. Surely, urinary tract issues are more common in women, but they can affect men too. I believe the statistic is urinary tract problems about 3 times more frequent for women, but men too can benefit from the cranberry fruit approach of Pacran. At NatureCity, our customers have been enjoying the benefits of Pacran for about 20 years and counting. Each serving of our sugar-free AloeCran drink mix contains the same 500 milligrams of Pacran used in the research. In addition, you get the digestive health and metabolic health support of organic aloe vera and 5 grams of prebiotic soluble fiber that also supports regularity and healthy bowel movements. AloeCran has been part of my day for many years, and I recommend you give it a try too. You can find AloeCran at NatureCity.com, and we're here for you if you have any questions. That's it for this week. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to see future episodes, or listen to us on your favorite streaming service. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. This is Carl Pradelli, and I'll see you next week.